Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. My name is Dr. Ssentongo Saadick. I work for TASO Uganda as a PMTC specialist. Next slide. Yes, to our elders, when you see those big boots, it's not a Kanye West show. It's not Dolce & Gabbana or any other thing. It's reality. What we are talking about here is, we are not saying that we do not want to achieve the 95. In fact, we are saying we can achieve the 100%. But the issue is the timelines. We are talking of 2030. What we are saying, the 2030, it is not realistic to ensure that we achieve this. This is why we were saying this. Most of the indicators, my elder Dorothy talked about data. Elder, please. This is to recap. Most of the indicators are being calculated using proxies. They are looking at the caregivers, they are looking at the parents to devise and agree on what they expect for the children. That's what we are saying. That's not okay and does not yield results. It is on that note, based on even the 69% of the August House, to request Mr. Chair, please, to take our fellow elders to the Elders Committee for some more counseling. Because these big boots, the big goals, it is real bullying. It's real bullying. Thank you very much. Next slide. Yes. When you look at this slide, it's very interesting. The first slide, that is the data, the spectrum data. The first quote up there. Before you marry a widow or a widower, you must first find out what killed their former spouse. Discussing 2030, it's like saying, oh, your wife died, so okay, let's marry. That's not the proper way of doing things. When you look at that spectrum data, the same data, as you can see, the first one talks about the second 90. You can see West Africa is dragging. And when you look at the same, in the same period, for West Africa, the second bar, you can see the data for 2010 is right there, and it's also showing that the performance of the elders is better than the pediatric. We all know, and this is a fact, elders can agree, that the pediatrics are performing poorly. But Spectrum is showing you that the pediatrics are performing better. When you look at on the other side, we are talking about strategies. My elder Dorothy displayed a very nice picture of Global Fund. There is what we call the Global Alliance. When you look at their data, same period, the data they presented in the Global Alliance report was totally different as compared to that on Spectrum. So we are having different data, the same time period, communicating different things, and informing wrong directions to the pediatric programming. This is where I come and I say, before we marry another wife, let us sit and assess what are the challenges of our data, can we improve them, and we get to the next thing. Next slide, please. Funding. We have seen resources, strategies, we all agree. But based on this data from the UNAIDS report, it is very clear in the last decade, funding has decreased by 60%. And as you can see, with except of United States, the paper programming, which has maintained the financing, these other international donors are reducing. Even the domestic, we Africans, our financing of HIV program has decreased by almost 2%. But our dependence on donor funding is increasing to 66%. So if you want to implement these strategies, where are you going to get the money? If you yourself, you are not even investing and donor financing is decreasing. Next slide. I've talked about this. If you want to change and improve, we need to be realistic, use the strategies, focusing on the right targets and the right initiatives to change this performance. Next slide. In conclusion, that's the last speak. Thank you very much.